Hello. Meanie, 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 meanie.
Say what?
Meanie, 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 meanie.
Say what?
Meanie, 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 meanie.
You gotta do that again.
Yeah. Meanie, 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 meanie,
Say
meanie.
what?
Meanie, 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 meanie,
Say
meanie.
what?
Meanie, 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 meanie.
Okay.
Hello, it's the soul. Trooping in with the Jungle Patrol. And this one's about the KOs, the knockouts out there who's holding my blood.
Hold up.
Wait a minute.
I used to get Hip Hop Connection when I was a kid, when I was like 15, 16. I used to always get that every month.
The magazine was like a bit of a Bible for us back in the day, man, because it was like it covered UK stuff and it covered US stuff, so there was a nice mix in there.
Personally, I loved it.
At the time, it was one of the only things that you could get if you wanted to know about hip hop in this country.
There's a little bit of history in there. Then there's the current graffiti. Then it covers breaks, like breakbeat. Then it covers UK rap music. You know, like, bruv, this is such a, like you said, immersive. Like, they go in, man. I'm really gutted it's not around.
Well, originally it was just supposed to be a smash hits of hip hop at the time, because hip hop had kind of come overground for a little while with Run DMC and the Beastie Boys and Salt and Pepper.
Chris had just started doing Hip Hop Connection as a full-time thing. There'd been 2 one-shot issues just to test the water, see if anyone would buy it. They did.
The first one had Salt and Pepper as the main image, I think, because they had just had Push It in the charts. We had Public Enemy on the cover. I think it was Flavor Flav with a great picture by Normski.
When you wanted to see, hip hop and rap break, everybody should know about this. It was like you were almost like the Jehovah's Witnesses of hip hop.
We were.
Like, you go, have you heard the good news? Public Enemy had come, and De La Soul had come in.
There wasn't a narrative being pushed. It wasn't an agenda. It was just like, look, we're into rap music as a bunch of people. Let's cover as much of it as we can so the reader can pick and choose for what they want. That's what I liked about it.
Well, we were definitely part of the scene. Mm-hmm. And that was, and we had our jobs, and we were freelancers, but we had our jobs. We had a duty to perform, and we took the duty pretty seriously.
Yeah.
Felt like a really exciting time, especially in the very early days. You felt like you were part of something that was quite happening.
I tell them about the slimmies. What slimmies? The ones in Electric and I see them. Yep. Because when I see them, I did a rap. What? You mean you didn't store? You know that?
And then Chris decided he wanted to do a football magazine, so he left and went to work for Match, and so it became mine. It was probably about mid-90s, 94, 95, I think. So yeah. And so what I wanted to do really was sort out the writing side, the editorial side, because we still felt a little lightweight. I felt anyways. So, and I was brought up with Enemy, Melody Maker, all the traditional Inky. So I wanted to get good quality writers in. I would say Andrew Emery in particular was a really pivotal one, because he came in, he absolutely knew everything, and he could really write. So he set the new standard from 96, 97 onwards.
This month's From the Ends takes us outside the capital for the first time, almost 200 miles outside, to where the weather's grim and Southerners will have you believe everybody still uses paraffin lamps while listening to the wireless. Know what I mean? Shakespearean.
I would frequently call Andy and ask if I could shoot a particular gig that I knew was going on for the magazine. So anyway, I got this picture of ODB, which they ran double-page spread, and that was a big thrill. And then, as an even bigger bonus, Andy said, "Send me an invoice." So I was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to get paid as well." So it was like a dream come true. I would always be out shooting gigs or clubs, and this section here was my section. Visuals, paul@hiphop.com, and it was my ticket to go to anything I wanted, whether it's Busta Rhymes concert with Spliff Star, Blade, T.I.
It was a passion to keep the magazine itself going. So I was really passionate about the magazine, passionate about the writers, the photographers. I mean, everything about the magazine itself.
It's people who are doing it because they're passionate about it, which is I think comes through in the magazine, and that, I guess that's why I'm so gutted, because I was passionate about it. So it was like reading some stuff that could have been written by my mates, you know what I mean? Just they can actually spell.
I've shot all my heroes, from like Cube to Chuck D to Rakim to Slick Rick. I mean, from what I'm saying now, you can tell what era I'm from. So this is the man cave where I store all my pictures, a few records, million CDs, and just general stuff. There's a few prints here that I used for an exhibition. What have we got? Oh, that's a reversal of Flavor Flav. That's just fun. Khalees, Will Smith, Kanye in Dubai, Meth and Redman, Mike Skinner.
So I'd say early 90s, Source probably ruled the hip-hop publication world, and I think we fought our own corner in the 90s.
There weren't any other rap publications. I mean, there was The Source, but that was not so relevant because it was, I know I've mentioned US artists, but it was an American magazine written for an American audience. Hip Hop Connection was a British magazine written for a British audience, and there were no other British hip hop magazines.
The magazine kind of grew up and developed and became much more sophisticated, and was probably at its best in the period when Andy was owning it towards the end, really.
And we started doing it independently, but no swanky offices, nothing like that. I ran it from my garden shed from 2001 until the end. So there's no staff, it's just myself. So I did all the admin, everything else as well as the magazine, freelance designers, and everyone else was freelance.
The other thing is maybe I'm the problem, but just as they picked me up, the magazine slowly started to peter out because digital media took over the world, and print media, obviously, unless you're a 60-year-old buying classic rock magazines or whatever, print media is pretty much dead.
The major retailers and the major record labels literally just pulled the plug. Like, they just didn't book anything. HMV, Virgin Megastores, Universal, it was like there was nothing. It was like a 50% cut in ad budget, and we were already on a shoestring. So after 3 months of digging a hole, you decide, do I want to dig a deeper hole, or do I want to just stop here? And bear in mind, they'd already had that experience previously. Took the decision to pause.
You identify yourself on the things that you ascribe to as a kid. Like that's the thing that's who I am. And so it was part of that. Yeah, I'm a rap guy. And then going home and reading this like a little nerd. And then I went on to write for them, and then I went on to be in it.
Well, Hip Hop Connection was independent, and it was competing with some like the biggest music magazines on the shelves. And I think what it was able to achieve with the limited resources it had was pretty phenomenal. Like, there were so few people putting it together, and yet when you walked into WH Smith, it was no different. It sat equal standing on the shelves with those big publications.